Today we're going to be talking about the right way, the wrong way, and the best way, and there is a distinction between those three. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. Table Needs welcomes you to listen in as Christian and Tracy, co-owners of Restless Coffee, spill the beans on their debut year in the food truck scene, uncover the secrets behind their secret menu, how they continually provide stellar customer service, and why building a strong community following is so important. Click the link in the episode description to watch the video for free. I have many people that will give advice on our Facebook group or will tell me that I've been told this by somebody else. And then I'll point out there's probably a better way to do what you're talking about. So we have the right way, the wrong way, and the best way. So what are the differences in those three? Let's start with the right way. That should be what everybody should be aspiring to. At least we hope. So the right way, you want to define that as an approach that adheres to the established rules, the established ethics, the standards within a specific context. Basically, you're following whatever the law says. It could be guidelines written by the operations manual of a grill. Could be the procedures outlined in how to do a fryer, again, from the manufacturer. And then those practices achieve a desired outcome. So we are following the rules and regulations. We are following the established way to do things. That's the right way. The key characteristics would be compliance. You align with the established rules and regulations. Could be ethics. You consider the moral principles and you avoid harm or exploitation. Objectivity, based on factual evidence, and it avoids biases. And then being efficient, achieves the desired outcome with minimal wasted effort. And that's a key to us in food service, minimal wasted effort. So now let's talk about the wrong way. Make sure everybody is on the same page on what the wrong way means. It refers to an approach that deviates from the established rules, the established ethics, and those established standards. It would involve things like shortcuts, unethical practices, or a complete disregard for any consequences. And we hear that a lot or see that a lot in the Facebook group when somebody says to seek forgiveness rather than seek permission. Disregard for the consequences. Key characteristics of the wrong way is non-compliance. We violate rules, we violate regulations, we don't care. Unethical, it causes harm or it exploits a situation or other people. It's biased, meaning it's influenced by personal opinions or prejudices rather than facts. It's inefficient, it leads to wasted time, it wastes resources, it creates negative outcomes. Now you're probably sitting there going, but Bill, I don't ever want to do anything the wrong way. And you're right. But you also, by clinging to the right way, might not be making the most amount of money that you could because there, in many cases, is a best way. So let's talk about best way. It goes beyond simply just being right. It optimizes the processes and outcome while considering context, the individual needs or the business needs, and it considers the long-term financial goals of your business. It often involves being a little bit creative, maybe even a little bit innovative, and having a flexible approach. But remember, we're not crossing the line into breaking the rules and regulations. We're looking for the most efficient way to be on the right side of doing things. The key characteristics, effectiveness, which that means you're achieving the desired outcome and maximizing the benefits of that outcome. Efficiency, you're optimizing the process with minimal wasted effort or resources. Think about just prep work, being efficient. Sustainability considers the long-term impacts and avoids negative consequences. And sustainability is not what most people are associating with sustainability in modern terms. It's not, let's be eco-friendly. Sustainability also talks about keeping that equipment operating properly so that it lasts you 10 years instead of 5 years because you're abusing it. Sustainability of actions and sustainability of equipment. And then another key characteristic is adaptability. It means adjusting to changing circumstances and individual needs. You set a long-term goal, and there's going to be adaptations made along that journey towards that goal. It doesn't mean you abandon the goal. It just means you may have to take a little detour. You got to be flexible. Let me give you an example. So let's say you're baking a cake. Now, the right way to bake a cake will be to follow the recipe, to put the exact ingredients and the exact measurements, and then follow the exact cooking temperature and the exact cooking time. And the result is going to be a cake exactly like the little box might say or the recipe is designed to present. Now, the wrong way, still baking a cake, would be just grabbing whatever ingredient crosses your mind. Let me do honey instead of sugar. Let me do salt instead of sugar. It's using the incorrect measurement. You're just guessing rather than measuring it out specifically. Because bakers will tell you baking is a science, so you have to be precise. And you could decide, well, let's just bake it at this lower temperature and save a little bit of money, or let's cut the baking time so I don't have to have the oven on as long. Those are all the wrong ways. And what ends up happening is you have a poor product. Now, you wouldn't do that because you're in food service. You want to do everything the right way. But now let's talk about what the best way would be for you and your food business. The best way would be experimenting with different flavors or different techniques, using a higher quality ingredient than what the recipe may call for, and then also maybe considering dietary restrictions or even allergies. Those produce a different result. And if you're using higher quality ingredients, it's going to be a better product overall. And techniques could be just as simple as going from hand mixing it to using a electric mixer and getting a more thorough blend of the ingredients. There's always a right way, there's always a wrong way, and then there's always a best way. And that's what you got to look for, is the best practices out there. That's what our Facebook group's about, presenting the best practices. I'm always going to tell you what's legal, but I'm also going to tell you what's the best way. The right way ensures a basic level of success. Now get that, basic level of success. But if you want to elevate your success and your success potential, then you got to do things the best way, the best practice method. That's when you start to experience and achieve exceptional results, is when you push yourself beyond doing it the right way. You push yourself into doing it the best way, the most efficient way. Just remember, there's always a right way, there's always a wrong way, and there's always a best way. But you got to make informed decisions. You got to problem solve, and you got to continually push yourself to learn and grow. Remember, the best way is not always the most obvious. Sometimes it takes somebody else just to point it out to you, because we get blinders on and we get so focused on this is the way we've been taught how to do it that we forget there might be a better way out there. And finding that better way requires critical thinking, it requires creativity, and it requires a willingness to experiment and then doing the hard thing, asking for feedback to see if what your experiment does, to see if what you experimented on is actually working for your guests. And then you tweak it based on the feedback. But you got to be asking for that feedback. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow, because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.